This case is absolutely bonkers, right? Now he's free. Jussie Smollett is free, but 50 healthcare providers, including nurses, aren't. Yes, Jussie Smollett has gotten other people fired while he's free as a bird flying. What is going on with this case?
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Welcome back and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Swadik Mayanja. You guys can call me Q, and on this channel I bring you news, current events, and fun topics for nurses and healthcare providers everywhere. This is a quick story for my return from a month off from social media, and I like this one. This one is interesting. It's weird, it's confusing, but it's Jussie Smollett. This guy, first of all, everybody feels bad for him because they think that he went through a horrible hate crime. Then everybody hates him because he's taking advantage of this outrage culture. Now he's getting nurses fired? What? Who knows? I don't, but let me give you the details as of what we know right now. So Jussie Smollett went to the Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago, and at least 50 employees, including nurses, have been fired after allegedly improperly reviewing his medical records, and they weren't giving him direct care. So they were just going through because they heard through the grapevine, through the nurse gossip, through the nurse's station, they heard that Jussie Smollett was in the hospital, and I guess employees went through his medical records, and this is indeed a violation of HIPAA. My question is, should they have gotten fired? Because all of these people gotten fired, and they got fired right on the spot. Let me give you a few more details. So there was one nurse, and she said her name was Susan. It's not her actual name. She just wanted to not be identified. But she said, simply put, it was just morbid curiosity. I went into the charting system and started to search his name. I just clicked once. I never clicked into his chart. So this is I want to talk about this not because it's Jussie Smollett, because he's not important in this situation, but it is a violation of HIPAA. If you're looking up patients you don't have, even if you just want to see their name, because when you do pull up their name, I know I've used Epic and I used one other charting system, but when you type in their name and their name pops up and you see that list, you see a whole lot of information outside of just their name. You see their code status, you see who their doctors are, you see how old they are, the date of birth, all of these other things. So yes, it is, even though that nurse, Susan, did not go into his chart physically, go actually into the chart to see what's going on with him, she still did violate HIPAA. And yes, it is a bad thing. But all of these employees, 50 of them were fired on the spot. Like, let's be honest here. Please, let's be honest here. How many times have you been in a nursing station, you've been taking care of a patient who has a crazy wound, and there's a picture of that wound in the chart, and you look to your nurse next to you, you look to the nurse behind you, you call your charge nurse over to say, oh my God, have you seen this wound? And then someone comes and looks at it, right? How many times have you gone through a patient's history and said, holy shit, I've never seen this kind of, I've never heard of this type of chronic illness, of this type of whatever, past medical history, whatever, and you tell your nurses to the left, to the right. The things that happen in a nursing station it is constant HIPAA violations. How many stories of patients have you gone through at the nursing stations for where you are the nurse and the other nurses aren't? So I know that HIPAA is violated at the hospitals 1,000,000 times a day. 1,000,000, and that's just, we gotta be honest, right? If we're gonna go by the actual policy, by the rule, HIPAA is violated 1,000,000 times a day. That's just bare bones. If you disagree with me, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to me, and that's not helping anyone. But I would like to know, who is chasing after these employees? Did any of these employees tell the people in their community, tell their family members, tell anyone outside the hospital? Because yes, I do agree that violating HIPAA is a bad thing. Maybe they should have had some extra education, but getting fired on the spot for just looking up someone's name is a little extreme. If it's Jussie Smollett's people that are going after everyone that went through his chart, sure, I get it that's Jussie Smollett's people. But it doesn't seem that way. It seems like the hospital went out of their way to fire every nurse or every healthcare provider that looked through the Jussie Smollett's chart. It does, in the NBC report, it does say that 50 employees, including nurses. It doesn't say how many nurses, right? I would love to know if administration, if any doctors, if any surgeons, if anyone in the higher ups got fired for doing the same thing. And if they didn't, I would love to know why nurses and under were fired, but not anyone above. Because I know, being in a hospital, working in a hospital, yes, nurses do the actual hand-to-hand combat. We do the physical care, and yes, we are in the patient's charge. Probably the majority out of most people at the hospital, but case management's in there, social workers in there, administration's in there, all the doctors are in there. So I would love to know the breakdown of who got fired based on these things. I want you guys to let me know, help me out with this question. Should these healthcare providers, should 50 employees have been fired on a single bad event? It does not say all 50 of them were chronically going into other patients' no, it was the one time all of them went into Jussie Smollett's chart and they all got fired on the spot. I disagree with it. I think worst case scenario, suspend them without pay or have them do some education and let them know. Because yes, it is indeed a violation of HIPAA. And yes, they should learn that that's not a good thing to do. But to fire them on the spot, come on! Can we be real for one hot second? Please and thank you. Let me know, comment section below. Was this worth, was it right? Did the hospital do it right? Should they have been fired? Let me know. Catch y'all later. Deuces.